Welcome to Wager Talk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It's Thursday, no NBA games. We got a couple NHL games. We got not one, but two potential closeout games in the NBA, but we got a lot of day baseball today. So, Dan, what do we got on today's show?
Yeah, man, it's a weird scheduling day, but we got best bets coming your way. We're going to have our Wager Talk Today play of the day. We're in bounce back form. We're now an awful 16-7 on the play that we give out right here at the top of the show. So Andy's got another play. We're going to take you to the diamond for that one. Like this one quite a bit. Gianni is back. That's right, folks. Gianni the Greek with his Steam report. I'm interested on a day like today. What is the action really like? Are people firing on some more future stuff? Are now that, the NBA finals are starting to get defined a little bit here for at least the conference playoffs, is exact as what we're seeing being bet a little bit more. We'll see what Gianni has to say about that and what we have in daily Steam for you. And then Joe Raineri, star of the best betting show ever. We talked to Prez yesterday. We got Joe today. We're going to talk Giants and Dodgers with him. Dodgers coming off a nice 4-0 win there. Didn't quite get enough runs for us, but it's all good. And then NBA playoffs. We're going to talk both of those closeout games with Joe. But Andy, I'm going to turn it over to you right here out of the gate, minute into the show. Hit that like button and subscribe. We are coming off a loser on this one, Andy, after winning, I think it was 3 straight or 4 straight. So 16-7 on the play of the day. We're heading back to the diamond. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Andy.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the Dodgers and Giants, and we're going to play some kind of form on the unders 4-0 game yesterday. I'm going to look at the first 5 innings under 4.5 runs combined. Once again, the Dodgers are going under their team total, but they did get 4 yesterday. But I like the setup for unders here. We got Rope pitching for the Giants, Sheehan pitching for the Dodgers, and this is kind of a theme. The Dodgers are now 15-9 under the first 5 innings at home. Rope had a great outing against the Dodgers in April. 5 innings pitch, only 1 earned run. And Sheehan's had a couple shaky outings. He can be tough to trust, but I'm going to trust him. He had a really good outing the last game. He went 4.2 innings, 1 earned run. And the Giants had pretty good offense first couple games of the series, but this is not an explosive offense long term. They'll have their peaks, but I think their upside is quite limited, and we saw that yesterday. So they crashed down to earth. I think the pitchers should have a good outing today. Dodgers still not lighting up the scoreboard. Giants, I don't see it today, so we'll take under 4.5 in the first 5 innings. I want to avoid the bullpens in this game.
Yeah, smart. Take the bullpens out of the equation. Yeah, okay, the game 1, it just went over this number simply because we got 2 runs in the 5th. So, yeah, we'll maybe sweat a little bit, but on a Thursday, Andy, we like that. Let's go under the 4.5 runs in the first 5. Let us know what your best bet is on the day. And, Andy, without any further ado, we always love it. We get 2 days where we miss Gianni, and then we get him back on Thursday, ready to fire. Gianni, how we doing today, brother? Good to see you again, man.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. Never better. Just big decision-making day for me. I've been up since like 4:30 a.m. because I had to handle my stocks. I've set myself up about 3 to 6 months ago on a lot of good positions and have just been waiting patiently. And they've just popped over this last 2 weeks. And I'm deciding, like, what do you do? You're up 50%, 100%, 240% on a particular trade. Do you cash out or do you keep letting it ride? Those are good problems to have, but that's what I'm dealing with. More importantly, we're now talking sports. We got to shift into the sports betting market. Good results last 3 days, picked up over 12 units. I told you after running cold for a week or two, this is when we tend to heat up. We're going to regress or progress towards the mean. And when we're cold, we're going to progress towards positive EV. And when we're too hot, we're going to regress a little bit. That's just the nature of the beast and the road over a year of betting every single day. So right now we're poised for a big weekend and heading into it off a nice couple days. Here's what I got real quickly. Check the free picks because I know I gave out 2 soccer yesterday, both 4%, both won. I gave out 3 4% in soccer for today. Yesterday, I'm sure at least 2 of those I remembered to hit the free button, so they should be up and available. The soccer's running really, really good, and I know that the group that I'm working with, they're setting up for the World Cup. They're so excited because of the influx of recreational bettors. They don't usually get this. Like, they bet those small countries. I share Colombia, all different smaller countries. And it's tough for those guys to get a lot of money down because it's them against the book. Like, in those smaller countries, even bettors that are betting those markets, they don't have the capital to make any kind of dent in the risk that these guys are creating. That's going to change once the World Cup comes. And they know that. They know that now they could bet 3, 4, 5, 10x into that same market and get good numbers. So they're really setting up for what's about to come. And I'm just hoping that their power ratings and their numbers are on point and we could have a kick-ass World Cup. I remember, like, in 2020, I think they went 25-4, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they hit almost 25 of 30 bets. I don't know if they could repeat that, but hopefully they could come close. Otherwise, no NBA today, but I can tell you quickly, they did jump out on Cleveland at 3.5, and they went under 210. No surprise with that series now 3-2. Cleveland's in the position to get a chance to close it out. San Antonio also in a position to close it out. They're on the road. Cleveland's at home, so no surprise. Cleveland expected to get public money. Again, we'll talk about that tomorrow. NHL, I'll get that out of the way. Then we could talk baseball if you want. I know there's some morning baseball as well. But here's what's going on in the NHL. 2 series that are elimination possibilities. Montreal's down 2-3 in that series. They took the +110 on Montreal against Buffalo. I'm biased because I have a future on Buffalo, so I'm hoping Buffalo could advance. But we have Carolina sitting there on a future, just waiting for the winner of Montreal or Buffalo, and Carolina is going to be either of those 2 teams. But they did take the +110 for Montreal to extend the series, and then they also took Vegas to get it done at -105. They're up 3-2. Now, keep in mind, historically, the betting syndicates are bucking history because historically, teams like Buffalo close it out tonight in a game 6 about 65% of the time, in not just the NHL, in all the playoff rounds. When you're up 3-2 and you got that game 6 at home, they usually are able to get it done. And then in the Vegas side, same situation. Even though up 3-2 on the road, those teams tend to only win about 35% of the time. So greater than 6 out of 10 times, almost 7 out of 10 times, a team like Anaheim's able to extend it into a game 7. I think the public's going to come in on Anaheim and expect that extension. So I don't think the books will have much risk. And the line kind of reflects that. Even though you saw some short money on Vegas at 105, it's only sitting about -110, -112, because they will get Anaheim money for sure at home, especially where they're, even money pretty much. That's the playoff picture for today. No NBA, but there is NHL getting most of the action.
I'm pretty surprised at this line that they put out in the Spurs. I mean, with Wemby, they're only -4.5. I know it's on the road. Are we seeing any action? I mean, I'm maybe that's the Squares take of the day. Is just by San Antonio, they can't coming off a big win. Like, is that what everybody's thinking?
Yeah, yes, because San Antonio is expected to be the cream. It's Oklahoma City, and can San Antonio get past Oklahoma City? It's kind of like those 2 teams in the West. Everyone else is an afterthought. But the problem with San Antonio is they're going to win this series, but this game historically hasn't been great. And here's what I mean. A team like San Antonio that's done exactly what they've done, where they lose that game 1, even though they're home, like Minnesota won game 1 on the road. And then they even the series. Then they go to the road in Minnesota and they split there. And then they win that game 5. They usually lose that game 6. 4 out of 10 times, they've only won that game 6. So 6 out of 10 times they've lost game 6. But listen to this. 10 out of 10 times they've won the series. So even though 6 out of 10 times a team like San Antonio has lost this game 6 on the road, all 10 times when that's happened, they've come back to win the series in the 7th game, in this quarterfinal round. And in fact, in all the NBA rounds from the first till the finals, it's happened 24 times. In 22 out of the 24, that team won game 7. So San Antonio, history tells us, is going to move on. It's just a matter of, do they move on in game 6 or do they move on at game 7? But it doesn't look good for Minnesota. But here's why Minnesota's been dangerous, because on paper, Spurs aren't that much better. Here's the bottom line power rating wise. As the playoffs have progressed, the Spurs are my 3rd best team in all of the NBA. Minnesota is now 7th. But more importantly, when I look at these two teams, both are a good balance. San Antonio, top 5 offense, 6th defensively, but that was against the 24th toughest schedule. Minnesota, 12th offensively, 10th defensively, but against the 7th toughest schedule. So these are much more comparable teams than I think many expected as we came into this series, myself included. Like, I thought this is a cakewalk, easy series for San Antonio. I mean, they're the much better team. They won 14 games more than Minnesota. I mean, they're a 62-win team. They lost 19 games in the regular season, where Minnesota lost 33 games, almost double that. But again, power ratings are what they are. And on paper, they're not that different. I mean, obviously San Antonio is San Antonio, but it's not like they're playing the 20th best team or the 18th best team. Minnesota's a top 10 team. And it'll be interesting to see game 6, how that goes, if they're able to close it out. But I do think San Antonio does advance, and we're going to get that Western Conference final. We expect San Antonio against Oklahoma City. And here's what I can tell you right now, power rating wise, Oklahoma City on a neutral court should be about a 2-point favorite over San Antonio. That's it. On a neutral court, they should be about a 2-point favorite, forgive me, with Oklahoma City being top 5 offense, top 5 defense, 26th toughest schedule. San Antonio, top 5 offense, 6th defense, tougher strength of schedule at 24. It's going to be a really good series. But the one thing here, let me share this bet with you guys real fast too, because I want to give actionable information. And since I'm not selling it, I'll just give it to you. I think I even gave it out as a 5% play. And that's the New York Knicks to win the Eastern Conference. They had me running around Las Vegas, getting down cash bets on anything minus 200 or better. Anything I found minus 200 or better, I was to bet the New York Knicks to win the East. And it makes sense because with Boston out of there, you have Detroit and Cleveland well behind New York. And, regardless who they play, whether they play Detroit or whether they play Cleveland on a neutral court, the Knicks are about 4.5, almost 5 points better than either of those teams. So Knicks, take it as you will. We just bet them to win the Eastern Conference, and the average, I got them about minus 175, 180, I think was the average after all the bets were placed.
Yeah, the X's and O's of the Spurs and Timberwolves, if you watch the last game, the Spurs totally figured out something, and they just double teamed Anthony Edwards. Once Anthony Edwards touched the ball, they sent 2 pit bulls after him. He landed on 20 points. He was averaging like 29, and they absolutely shut him down. And they were like, supporting cast, you get to beat us in the sec. It looked like an unfair like AAU kids game. When you have like the 7th graders that have no business being on the court with this other team, where half the team's already committed to colleges. And I used to ref AAU basketball, so you see them. That's what it looked like. Like they would send Castle and Vassell and Kel, they were just sending everybody at him, and it was just
Cleveland surprising. Cleveland Detroit series surprising. Detroit was in a position where they should be up 3-2, not down 2-3. Like historically, the way the series was playing out, they were in a spot where like 9 out of 10 times and a decent sample size, they were supposed to be the team that's up 3-2. So what Cleveland's doing, even though on paper they're right next to each other, like I have Detroit as the 6th best team, I have Cleveland as the 7th, like they're right against each other. But just the way it was playing out, Detroit was not supposed to find themselves in this position. So it's interesting to see how this one plays out, whether Cleveland's able to close it out at home. Because again, the being able to win like they did, and get it done on the road on the money line was huge. I thought they'd cover. I took the points, But getting that win was a big surprise yesterday. So see how that turns out as well. So tomorrow's where the big day for NBA. Today it's about MLB and NHL playoffs. So it's not too bad. We got UFC coming up in a few days too.
Yeah, I was going to ask about UFC, what we're seeing with early lines. It's a pretty terrible card. This has got there's a lot of toss-ups. There's not a huge, there's not that minus 1,000 favorite. I only have one play that I like, and I love it. Fits into one of my goofy theories. It's the fade the OnlyFans theory. I never thought I would love to lay minus 205 on Alice Ardalian, but the woman she's fighting has been finished 3 times in a row. How do you get finished 3 times in a row in 3 women's UFC fights? And she's on Instagram training in her OnlyFans shirt.
Bro,
she doesn't
raw weight. It's tell me it's women's bantamweight, and I could say it happens. You know what I mean? But this is at women's straw weight, where 2 out of 3 times historically the judges decide who's going to win the fight. And yet this girl's managed to buck probability. So I agree 100% with you. I actually found a little bit of value. I fired 3-4% plays already. The line's moving in my favor in 2 out of 3. So I like the position we're in. I'll even give you one of those now, because I think it's the video best bet I gave out for my podcast. And that's Louis Goulet over Barras. I gave him out at even money, even money. Actually, it was actually plus 105. But now it's like minus 130, minus 140. So we got a good number there. And I also bet, tell me what you think. I'll give this one out also in that MVP of the Netflix. I like Perry, man. I like Perry over Nate Diaz. I said, if I see at 200 or less, I'm betting Perry, and it's around 180. And maybe I'm an idiot for betting Mike Perry in this spot, but I just think Diaz is all name recognition. Like, you're paying for the name and nothing else. He's now in a spot where it's just money fights. Like that's it. And I don't blame him to take advantage of it, but even at this plus money, I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't. These fights are so hilarious, man.
They are.
It's so funny. I'm with you. Nate Diaz will have to try and get this to the ground. And at 41 years old, I'm not sure that 41-year-old body's ready to wrestle Mike Perry to the ground.
Exactly.
I mean, Perry's got the massive power. The guy's been knocking dudes out in bare knuckle. So the only one I like, it's a parlay piece. I mean, Rebelos Despain should mollywop Junior DeSantos. There's another one. At 42 years old, you're going to be taking down the 220-pound monster. I don't see it. So we'll go. I
agree. I like that. That's not even that bad of a price at minus 350.
He hits him once and it's over. This guy has knocked out people in karate combat in 3 seconds. That's real thing that's happened.
Dude, anything less than 400, I think you're getting the best of it. Yeah, I think that's a good bet.
Yeah. Let's. Do you see anything in Major League Baseball that we should be aware of? We got a bunch of day games here starting here in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, let me share what I had, because with all that stuff going early, I don't put out a theme sheet because it just doesn't offer the value on a day like this without NBA playoffs as well. So here's some of that early action and some that got follow through. 954 Cincinnati minus 140, but more importantly, the under. Blindly betting it, they went under 9, under 8.5, and even under 8. So all those totals are gone. Right now, you either like the over or leave it alone, unless it's like a hurricane. Leave that under alone because they destroyed that line. Move on to Atlanta. They just kept betting Atlanta overnights, and then again this morning. They bet Atlanta 145, 150, came back, bet 155 and 160. More importantly, the public's betting the Cubs. Rarely are they taking plus when it's this big of a dog. Like, I see them taking plus 115s, plus 120s on the regular, but once it gets up that plus 145, 150, 155 range, it's rare to see straight bets from recreational bettors, but they are betting the Cubbies today. And what else can I give you? Oh, Dodgers, San Francisco. This one's going opposite the public as well. Sharps went under 8.5, but then came back and went under 8. Paid a little juice to got it, I think, at even money and minus 105 to go under 8 also. But 2 out of 3 bets from the public are over in San Francisco and the Dodgers. Finally, Kansas City minus 120 and the under 8.5. Phillies at even money, and the Athletics from plus 120 all the way to minus 105. So they flipped that one on the Athletics. and public's actually betting St. Louis in that one. So that's pretty much what's going on in Major League Baseball. Again, a lot of early action, so a chance to get out ahead of the bookmakers.
All right. I know you don't have a steam sheet. What do you have up for everybody on Thursday, though?
I have my UFC package is up with 4 plays already. 4% in UFC and 1 in the MVP. More will be added between now and Saturday. NHL package is going up within the next 60 minutes. If I'm able to confirm I did confirm actually a 4% in Major League Baseball, and it's a night game. If I could add some more, I'll throw up a package there as well, because baseball's starting to run hot for us, and that should continue as our sample size increases. So running hot this week, and looking for that to continue, because I'm coming off a cold 2 weeks, and it's time for us to run hot for a little bit.
All right, Gianni the Greek. We'll finish up UFC and MVP talk tomorrow. I can't believe we're talking about Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano.
Yeah,
but we'll give you in the year.
Best of luck to you, Dan. Best of luck, Andy, and do some damage, boys. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Gianni. Appreciate it. So, Dan, did you watch the end of the Pistons Cavs game?
Yeah, so I did see it. I mean, give Allen credit. He made it look as nonchalant of a trip as you could make it look. This is where Andy, the replays, it gets a little bit too nitty-gritty, because like at full speed, it did just look like they get tied up. You slow it down, and it does look like it kind of points the toe, and it was a trip. So you could make a case either way. They opt for the no call. The bigger deal was blowing the lead. You know what I mean? You have a 9-point lead. Don't make it come down to, do the refs get you to the line on a trip and call that? Was it a trip? Full speed, it didn't look like it. Slowed down, it did, Andy. So I guess that's my politician answer there.
In the moment, I thought it was a trip. But I was kind of glad they didn't call it, because I want to see them decide it in overtime. And it was just one of those where it was close enough to where I didn't want to see the game decided on a, I don't want to say totally ticky-tacky, but it would have been a ticky-tacky type of call. They let a lot of physicality go through. So I in the regular season, yeah, the refs are calling that, because we ain't going overtime. We got to get on a plane to our next game
to go.
But in the playoffs, we'll play overtime. So absolutely. But I wouldn't have been mad if they would have called it, but I wasn't upset they didn't call it either. And I know that's really wishy-washy, but that was just in the moment. My initial thought was glad they didn't call it, but you could.
Yeah, either fan base has a case to be made. You know what I mean? If you wanted the call and you could make the case for the trip 1,000%, Pistons fans have a right to be pissed off. If they would have called it, Cavs would have had a right to be pissed off, because, hey, was it ticky-tacky? Sure. Lay of the law, Andy, I guess technically it was a foul. But I'm with you. You swallow the whistle at that spot. So
here's a narrative I'm sick of, is the free throw disparity talk. If one team is fouling a lot more than the other, then the other team is going to shoot more free throws. The games don't need to end with the team shooting the exact amount of free throws. Some teams play different styles. Like, stop fouling. If you know the refs are calling certain things, then stop fouling. Like, you had an entire, you give it about a half to figure out what the refs are calling and what they're not calling and what you can get away with it, and you got to adjust to it. So if they're calling reach-ins on drives, then don't reach in a drive. If they're letting it go, then you're going to see, hacking on the way to the basket. But that's up to the teams to figure that out. You got to adjust to the style that they're playing. So I don't pay attention to the free throw disparity. So that's just me. We have a ton of action going on in PGA Championship. We have 12 round score plays going on today. Jan and I thought we had a pretty good read on how the course was going to play today. But only thing we have up really for sale is Dan, your lacrosse play. If you didn't get it on $5 Tuesday, it's half price. That's up there. And Dan is going to put another lacrosse play in that package. I'll get that up right after there. So I'll leave that pack up for today. One MLB play. I'll probably put another play in, but honestly, my reads yesterday were just is one of those days where my leans were wrong. The couple official plays that I put in, those were wrong. So I'll probably take it a little bit light today in WNBA and MLB. So WNBA and MLB, they're very long seasons. So if you have a bad day, maybe sit one out. If you feel like you're running good, then ride those streaks. But there's no reason to force anything when you're coming off a day. We had a great Monday, mediocre Tuesday, and then not a good Wednesday. So try and scrape a winner or two and get off to a good start in golf, and we'll go from there. So, RJ, I am putting your 3-day pass so it starts tomorrow. That way you get Dan's lacrosse plays for Sunday. So you get a weekend.
Let's go.
Of passes. So that's how I'm handling that. So
I like it.
All right. Let's bring in Joe Raineri. Dan, I'll let you take Joe, but I did have to ask. Joe, did you see that double team that the Spurs started to do on Anthony Edwards in the second half of the last game? I thought they unlocked something, and Edwards looked defeated. He looked hurt. I thought that was a pretty big. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of double teams on him. I'm curious about that little wrench they threw at him.
Cut the head off the snake, Andy. I mean, it's. I was wondering what took him so long to actually do it. And listen, him and McDaniel are averaging 40 minutes a game now for the last 3 games. He's not healthy, so I mean, I give him all the credit in the world. We've seen a lot lesser players sit out for for a lot less, but he's a warrior. But unfortunately, he's running out of steam. So is this Minnesota team. And please stop playing Rudy Gobert like he's going to bring anything to the table offensively. He's an offensive liability. He's getting exposed. Like, I feel we talk about this every year with Gobert. Like, it's great defense. Yeah. But you got to score in this league in order to win games. And he doesn't bring enough to the table. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get an overhaul of maybe the starting lineup for Minnesota. Because at this point, if they keep rolling out what they are rolling out, Edwards doesn't have enough, especially if they're going to be throwing everything at him again. Who else on that team are we so in love with and think that no problem, they'll pick it up? It's hit or miss night to night, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it was simple, man. It was just, hey, make your role players beat us, and you saw what happened.
Anybody but Anthony Edwards. Anybody but Anthony Edwards. Yep.
It's spot on. Yeah, we were both kind of surprised at the fact we're seeing 4.5 on the Spurs. We'll circle back and talk about that one, Joe. But real quick, let's talk about action that is going today. It's a weird card, but you do have the finale in a 4-game set here with the Dodgers and the Giants. And even though the Giants really kind of weird loss that they had yesterday, 4-0, but base running was kind of the story for the Giants towards the end of that game. But still, even with that 4-0 shutout, they've set themselves out to potentially pick up a series win here in game 4. So yesterday it was a $3 favorite. Now it's a minus 174, 175 favorite. What are we thinking about Dodgers and Giants here in the final game of the 4-game set?
Well, I mean, and you got to love Vitello. I mean, bringing a college coach to coach in the majors and watch. I mean, his eyes were bleeding last night watching that base running mistake. Like, just casually, it's 2 outs. We're just, like, no big deal. I'm just going to keep running. Like, what are you doing? I love what he said, though. He's like, listen, tomorrow I'm just going to be out there with a fungo. Anybody who wants to get better at base running can join me. Like, dude, if that was college, them kids would be running gassers for like the next 6 hours. It'll be a disaster. But he has got some adjusting here, dealing with professionals and not college kids. And unfortunately, worst base running in the world in Major League Baseball. But I got to give them credit. They took the first 2 games of the series. They lost last night just because they lost to a ridiculously good Ohtani, who likely isn't going to be in this lineup again here tonight. But that's okay because he's been going through it. I think we're at that point now, maybe in his career where maybe a little less DHing, a little more focus on the pitching right now, or at least during those starts. I think we have to get used to that with Ohtani. Sheehan has been fantastic, this kid, except he gives up far too many home runs. He's got great swing and miss stuff, but he gives up far too many home runs and hard contact here. If he would actually cut back on the home runs, this kid would be absolutely dominant. And Roop is the other way. He doesn't give up any home runs. He's a ground ball pitcher. He, too, has got swing and miss stuff. I think this is a pretty good matchup here tonight. I think there's a little less pop in both of these lineups here. I think these guys are going to have some success early on here. And we all know without Ohtani being Ohtani at the top of that order, it's been a struggle for the Dodgers offensively, hence why they lost the first couple of games of this series. I don't see how it's going to get any better tonight here. I think Roop is actually pretty good here. He keeps the ball in the ballpark, keeps it on the ground. I'm looking at the first 5 because the bullpens, they've both gotten some work here throughout this series. I'm thinking the under in the first 5. I'm thinking we get a pretty good pitchers battle early, and then I think the fireworks likely going to happen for the Dodgers, at least offensively, against that Giants bullpen once we get past the 5th inning.
Well, Joe, music to our ears, because we always start off the show here with our Wager Talk Today play of the day. And Joe, this is what we were rocking with. Under 4.5 runs here in the first 5. So these are the kiss of death, or all three of
great minds, people. Great minds.
As long as Prez isn't on it with us, we'll be just fine, Joe. So, so let's go on that under. Just
love
nobody
it.
tell Prez.
No.
Yeah, Joe, let's circle here to the hardwood, man. And we alluded to it. I just want to get your thoughts here as we got 2 game 6s that are going to be going Friday now. Pistons fans here in the chat have been bemoaning, as well as our friend Chris Allen behind the scene, telling me this is a historic disparity at the free throw line that is happening, and he will not stand for it. But we'll get to that one in just a second, Joe, because the 4.5, with the kind of unlocking that we've kind of seen, I guess, with what the Spurs have done defensively against the T-Wolves, it looked like this previous game, Joe, was kind of the change of the guard for this series and maybe the final nail in the T-Wolves coffin. So I know it's early, game's going tomorrow. Any thoughts here on this opening line and how you maybe are going to look to attack this one?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think San Antonio showed us that there's levels to this. And the experience factor was heavy in favor of Minnesota early. And we watched that in game 1 before San Antonio kind of got the footing going here. But from a talent perspective, and listen, if Wemby doesn't get thrown out for the vicious wild elbow, so intentional and fantastic, I love it, to Naz Reid. But if he doesn't get thrown out, 6 minutes into the game, this series is probably over right now. They're not winning that game either. So there is levels here. Unfortunately, Minnesota, devastating with the injuries. And we talked about it, and Andy was right. I mean, now they are forcing everybody else except Anthony Edwards, who is the only guy offensively that could really hurt them. And without him, well, then we're looking at, double-digit spreads, right? We're looking at being a dog at home, getting 4.5, 5, and all of it is likely not enough because you're watching Harper grow up in front of our eyes here to be an absolute monster in this league. With Wemby, you go down the roster, even the guys that they have coming off the bench, far too much depth, far too much talent. And Rudy Gobert is not going to help you offensively. He's going to be a liability. And the couple of defensive rebounds that he may grab or a couple of blocks is not worth having him out there. And if that's the case, they got a problem here. And I think it's going to be over quickly. I think San Antonio ends it. I think you're going to see very much what you saw in all of the San Antonio wins. It'll be close early. And then eventually, too much talent, too much depth, they'll eventually pull away in that second half and win the game and punch their ticket to get to what I think is likely going to be better than any final we get anyway, is San Antonio versus OKC in the Western Conference.
Yeah, that's the matchup that everyone's been waiting for. When they saw each other in the regular season, even in that NBA Cup, we talked about, hey, this could be a preview of
I hope OKC gets back from vacation in time, though, in order to actually show up.
Like, oh wait, oh God, we have stuff to do. We have a game to play.
I saw him on a banana boat, sipping wine down here the other day. Like, good God, what are you, like a month off before you got to play again? It's absurd.
Yeah, well, that's what they've become accustomed to. That's for sure. Joe, all right, the Pistons fans in their feelings. Was it a trip? Was it not a trip? It doesn't matter because you blew a 9-point lead. Sorry to be that curt, but that's the reality of it, man. So now we set up a potential closeout game here for James Harden and the Cavs James Harden is in a closeout game heading towards a potential Eastern Conference final. Yeah, pretty wild, Joe. What are we thinking early looks in this one? Essentially, similar line. This one, there are some 3.5s out there, though.
It's correct, right? Tony Brothers has never met a penalty he didn't love to blow the whistle on, right? Like never met a foul he has never loved to blow the whistle. But he didn't blow this. And can I tell you something? It's right. Nobody wants to watch that end that way, right? And listen, it's terrible. Was it a foul? Sure. Who cares? At the bottom of at the end of the day, you went another 6 minutes without scoring a bucket in crunch time when it mattered the most. From the end of the game into overtime, once again, your offense disappears. What is Cade supposed to do? Drop 60? Is that what's going on here? Where was Tobias Harris? Is he on a milk carton this morning in Detroit? I'm just curious because he was nowhere in that game last night. Neither was Duran. They had every shot to win that game, and that's the big problem with Detroit. I thought maybe they were a year too soon. I think they've got to make some adjustments in the offseason, but it just can't be Cade Cunningham or bust here. And by the way, Thompson is a 57% free throw shooter. What in the world makes you think that just because they called the foul, like he was going to make those free throws anyway? So they don't have enough offense to win anything substantial. It's great that they've made it to this point, but I think ultimately they're still a year away here, and experience matters. And you just watched it last night with Cleveland.
Yeah, I love the breakdown there, Joe. And for what it's worth, man, I know NBA is going tomorrow. Tonight you do have an MLB play up. All sports have been going great. But right now, with 2 games going tomorrow, Joe, I know you haven't dialed in on what exactly like. We cashed another one for your clients last night. 3-day pass is a no-brainer right now because you got the MLB play up. You got 2 games tomorrow in NBA, then some weekend action as we head towards it. WT.buzz/JR. What are they going to find over there, man?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's been a great run now in the postseason. 5-0 run in the NBA, but you mentioned it. We cashed another 5% last night. We did have Cleveland, had them on the money line as well, simply because the ceiling offensively for the Cavs is way higher than Detroit. And unfortunately, when you need a bucket at the biggest moment, I'm not sure anybody in Detroit could have delivered it. So now we're 4-0 in the postseason on those 5% max bets here. So it has been cruising here. And also we got a big Major League Baseball top play going on here tonight in a spot that it's actually my favorite play on the card, but this line is moving. So my suggestion is to head over to WagerTalk.com right now on my page and pick that one up. And you mentioned that 3-day pass is the way to go because locking in the NBA for tomorrow night, I'll have that play up by the end of the day, plus more Major League Baseball. For what, 3 days, $49? You're going to get everything, including any more 5% top plays. Makes all the sense in the world. Go hop over and grab that $49 3-day all-access pass. I promise you'll be happy you did. And I do want to let Andy know as well. It is official. I have made more birdies this week on the golf course than Bryson DeChambeau has in the last 2 tournaments. I'm just saying I have actually had more birdies than he has had here. It's painful watching him, Andy. It's painful right now.
Yeah, he's just has not learned. You cannot overpower every single course. And once he realizes it, he has no backup plan, and he's in his own head now. He's +4, well on his way to blowing it and missing the cut. He on the show that we did, we do a segment, players that can trip you up. It's big names that I say don't play. Yeah, he was one of the number 1 guys. Like, don't play Bryson at this.
The problem is, Andy, he's like, once again, he's flying the greens, right? He's got no touch. And I know what's happening. He's flying over, and already now this psycho's thinking, all right, so how do I 3D print a new club that'll take it if I go back? I mean, the guy looks like he's sharp as a marble, but in his mind, he's thinking about how am I going to create, like, it's, a paralysis by analysis. Like, he's building sets of clubs now that he thinks it's not. He looks like he's thinking way too hard here right now.
Do you know the ego you have to think you can 3D print a better club than professional companies that make clubs?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Fair question.
The audacity to say something like that.
Confidence.
Well, he's got all the time in the world because he's not playing on the weekend. So, I mean, why not? Build away, Bryson. Build away.
Well, the by far the best story that came out of round one was I do not know how this happens. Garrett Higo missed his tee time. He showed up late.
He better have been arrested like Scotty Scheffler. That's all I'm saying. He better have been arrested. My goodness.
So he comes running up late. They penalize him 2 shots and then he double bogeys the first hole. So he's 12 minutes into his tournament and he's already out of it. 4 over. So
and he just it's like, come on, Higo. Really? You weren't getting a haircut, I'll tell you that.
Just walk up, of course. And by the way, Joe, you said we were talking about the foul earlier on the Cleveland. You're saying nobody wants to see that.
Nobody.
Especially if you have a 5% play on Cleveland.
Not even Tony Brown.
Cleveland. Especially Joe's clients.
To tell you the truth, I mean, I was getting 4.5, so I wanted, go ahead and make. But then I'm looking at Thompson going, the guy's a 57% free throw shooter. Knowing my luck, he's going to miss them both, and then we're going to get blown out in overtime. So, yeah, the sweat was on. Unreal.
Okay. You had the spread.
Where the dogs go to die.
Yeah,
it's accepted. Except last
I
night.
was hoping for it, but the reality is you can't end that game like that. It's not going to happen. And you had the opportunity in overtime and you couldn't make a shot again for the first 4 minutes. So, Tobias Harris. Where's that milk carton? Ridiculous.
Well, great 5% play, Joe. Congrats on the big win.
Awesome
Continued success. Thanks for joining us.
Go get it, guys.
Yeah, WT.buzz/JR. That's a hell of a run, man. We've been loving our props here in NBA postseason. Joe's more sides totals. 4-0 on 5%, 5-0 run here. 21 units. He's nailed. That's awesome stuff, man. Postseason's been going well for the Wager Talk crew here, man. I like to see it because Ski's been seeing it well too, man.
I'm like number 4 in playoffs, and I'm hitting 65% of plays. I can't catch up with everybody. So, all right, we're gonna do all around the world real quick. I have a dentist appointment in 17 minutes, so we need to do this, and then I go do what everybody does, which is brush my teeth for like 10 minutes and get them like perfect, and then go to the dentist. Which makes fair. I should eat some Cheetos before I go. All right,
let's make them work.
Let's go. This Ducks and Golden Knights. I'm looking at the over 6.5. It's pretty simple. All games at Vegas have gone under this series. All games at Anaheim have gone over. I know it's a closeout game. I know probably tough defense, but I don't know. These trends of being able to predict these overs and unders based on where they play is somewhat interesting. So we almost made the Cubs Braves Nerfy the play of the day. So Dan, this was one you liked. What do you see? And by the way, how random was that Joe's play happened to be like our play of the day?
That never happens.
All the bets on the board. Wow.
Of all the bets on the board, I'm glad that we're with the dude who's on a 9-2 all sports run. So that works. That works for me. We don't do a lot of nerfies and yerfies, things like that. If you guys like those kind of breakdowns, Andy and I can start adding them to the show. Let us know. Comment below and let us know you want more yerfy and nerfy talk. We can have some fun. This one just makes a lot of sense to me. Ben Brown, this is a guy who's typically been a reliever, but because of injury, he's had to be thrust into more of a starting role. And in his career, he's played pretty well against these hitters and the Braves. And on the other side of the equation, you got Chris Sale. Like Chris Sale, Andy, we've talked about, he's like an auto bet for us. So we have a slumping Cubs batters versus an elite pitcher, a pitcher who matches up well on the other side against these hitters. And yes, I know the Cubs, they're good versus left-handed hitting. However, Chris Sale isn't your average lefty, right? And even in the Braves' 2 wins in this series, no runs scored until the 3rd inning at the earliest. Let's cash our ticket after 1 inning. 2 solid pitchers. Let's go. No run first inning. You can find this thing around -125. It's all the way up to -150. That's where the cutoff is for us. Nerfy just missed out as the Wager Talk Today play of the day. Great show, Andy, man. Go get those teeth clean, brother.
Yeah, well, and to be honest, the only reason it wasn't play of the day is because I accidentally made the graphic for the other play. So we rolled with that one.
We like both, though.
We do. We like both. So, all right. Thanks very much. Like button, comment below. RJ, I got your 3-day pass coming tomorrow. Make sure you join us tomorrow. We'll get you ready for the weekend. We got Preakness, right? Preakness.
Yeah. Marco's going to talk Preakness. We're going to have Teddy Covers on. He's going to talk a little NBA action. We'll, of course, have Gianni with the MLB Steam. But you want your Preakness bets, come right back here. Hit that subscribe button. We do have Pony Pundits, and Marco has some videos up now if you want to check them out. I'll put them on the screen right here. But Preakness tomorrow, Andy.
All right. Have a great day. Good luck on all your bets. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.